Maya. I work as a freelance curator for historical and cultural exhibitions. So that means I work on varying projects and they change quite frequently.
My name is Jason Losh. I'm the Director of Business Development for Deedle International. Deedle is a freight forwarder specifically focusing on shipping artworks throughout the United States and overseas, domestically and internationally.
I'm Nicole van Eert and I work for Turtle. Turtle is a company that creates safe and innovative and sustainable art products for moving climate around the world, art around the world. And one of the most important things, of course, is that it's not only a nice reusable crate, but it also has high-end performances to pre-conserve this art during its transport. So it has high performance on climate control and on shock and vibration reduction. Turtle is based in the Netherlands, and we have our own office in Germany as well.
My name is Sönke. I'm teaching at an art academy in media theory, and we do a lot of cultural projects. I'm here now because K8, which is our non-profit transfer organization, working with a lot of cultural organizations on these issues, is participating in the Key Culture pilot. And sustainability issues have always been on our agenda, but of course the context of the climate crisis has reaffirmed our commitment to these questions and issues.
Zabrowski. I am an administrative assistant to our CFO and Vice President of Business Operations and project coordinator. So I do a lot of institutional coordination, most recently our green team.
Jerome, I'm the Director of Facilities here at the Henry Ford Museum. We're a large cultural organization in Dearborn, Michigan, and we are looking to invest and investigate into sustainable practices here in Southeast Michigan.
And I'm Deborah Reed. I'm curator of agriculture and the environment and arrived in very early 2017 with a job description that included looking into collecting the environment, which was the first time the Henry Ford in its almost 90 years at that point had a curator that addressed environment. So all of this has started since I arrived, and I'm just happy to be part of the team so that I think we've got three good perspectives coming at it: the operational aspects, the facilities and grounds, and then the historical resources.
Is also important for the question of sustainability is that the team also changes according to projects. So if I might work on my own quite for a smaller project, but then I'm still in close collaboration with the people who commissioned the exhibition or the institution that finances it. I might work within a team on eye level, and then I also have people who work for me, like woodworkers or interior designers or other people. So it's really varying there as well, and that can be great, but it can also be a slight disadvantage because you have to re-establish how to work sustainably.
The difficulties that we see are often based not necessarily on our organization, but on the art industry as a whole. There are standards that are put in place right now that are there for good measure to keep the artwork safe, but also what they do is they limit the amount of things that you can do in terms of being sustainable. So we need to address the issues of sustainability within the formats that already exist for keeping artwork safe long-term. And I think I see Deedle as being in a position to lead the industry in that conversation.
Was there a moment in your life or your career that really pushed you towards wanting to be more sustainable in your personal and professional life?
I think in general, let me start this again. I think in general, one of the things that I have tried to focus on in my personal life is sustainability. And it's little things like composting. We put solar panels on our house. We've seen the things that combine and add up into larger things, right? So, and I know that Fritz Deedle is very much aware of sustainability issues in our industry as well too. So for the last 2 years, 3 years, we've been offering offsets on all of our shipments, but we know that offsets aren't the only answer. So we need to be doing more, and we need to find out ways that we can push this forward for our industry as a whole and not just for ourselves. And I think that's the pushing point for us, is what can we do to make sure this is mainstream enough that everybody is
and
involved
then in
and
the
not just ourselves.
I love art, and I love education, and I love the story art can tell, and the discussions that can happen around art, or the admiring, or it change your mindset. So I love to work with art, and I see the educational urge of sharing art around the world. People need to see this, and it shows cultures, it shows differences. But meanwhile, we are not very sustainable with the logistics.
Yeah.
So it grew on me that we have more and more shipments each day. We want to see the Mona Lisa in our backyard, if it's possible, for example. But this needs to be traveling alone in a truck with a courier, for example. And I noticed that we can do so much more, and not only by the transport logistics part, because that's still hard to replace by something else yet, but also the package.
Is that I think the awareness to which these different registers of sustainability actually reinforce each other rather than compete with each other is something that is not widely discussed across the cultural organizations we work with. That more often sustainability is considered in very narrow terms, energy efficiency, for instance, or green content. So we invite an artist who addresses nature, environment, climate-related concerns, and that's it. But there's no connection back to the way we organize our institutions. And I think that's the first leap that has to happen as a way of addressing these constraints, is to say, when we talk about sustainability, we're not talking about content. We're talking about process, we're talking about systems, and we're talking about transformation.
Well, with any nonprofit, I think resources are always going to be a challenge, and creatively applying your resources into the best kind of strategies you possibly can. So some of the environmental initiatives may at first glance be kind of costly, or just very labor intensive, maybe more staff than you have. I think one of the biggest challenges is to kind of prioritize and make sure you're using your resources as best you can.
Challenges are that it's a really large institution with a large physical plant and a large staff that, though, is strapped for time, resources, and while the spirit is willing, it takes a while to talk, across divisions to coordinate activities. So I think it's been fantastic that this team that has been formed includes people from across the institution to ensure increased communication and then planning.
So far, I have these disconnected points of knowledge, maybe. So I would hope to bring that into a more cohesive image and just widen my understanding, focus on things that I haven't really learned about. And then in the second step, I would like to also learn more how I can put that into practice. And I think the program itself, how it's designed, so there's the learning aspect, but then there's also the mentoring aspect to discuss in detail, like how does that apply to your work?
What motivated us to join the Key Futures program is it offered an opportunity to have a sounding board and have an educated conversation where it wasn't people just throwing out lots of random things that could take place to help us figure out what the solution is. It's a clear and concise way for us to understand where we can be more sustainable and help push this conversation forward long term.
I want to step off our own island and share our thoughts and don't be an island anymore. Share it with people that could be our clients, to hear what their needs are, what their awareness is. Hope to learn from them new insights, of course, maybe feedback on our own product, a little bit of criticism maybe that we could learn from.
Yeah.
And in the end, I hope that we can get with some concrete plans to implement some of these ideas, and that we make like a real deal with each other to do this.
We think that we can't go it alone, and that the commitment Key Culture has made to producing this kind of structured onboarding, let's say, into this wide-ranging culture and sustainability conversation is something we hope to benefit from tremendously. So we're basically participating as a future multiplier of these materials, but also as a future kind of adapter and reappropriator of this context, because we've learned in the past that every time you use somebody's material, you end up translating it for your specific local context.
Connecting with people from around the world and knowing that, everyone kind of shares this responsibility and shares this planet, and we just kind of all share the responsibility to learn about it and do something about it. So it's kind of a big global effort to make the planet a better place for everyone. So that's what I'm most excited about.
Also looking to turn over that stone that we're not aware of, to look for opportunities that simply haven't hit our radar, but yet are across the world are becoming, coming to the forefront, and that maybe we can also lead an effort here or with another institution to drive some of those initiatives forward.
And everything that Zach and Alec have said, plus the ability to contribute to case studies and best practices, which seems to me the real purpose behind Key Futures.
Hi, my name is Daria Dinesh. I am based in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, originally from Canada. I currently work as a copywriter and digital marketer for small businesses in the Netherlands and in Canada as well. Within Key Culture, I'm the digital marketing coordinator. So I am basically the person who makes sure that we're working on providing the best messaging that gives our audience the best idea of what Key Culture and the Key Futures program are, working with the social media teams to make sure that we're getting content out consistently. I can't really say what motivated me to be more involved in sustainability. Like, I can't pinpoint a time where I kind of like really realized that this was what I wanted to do, but I grew up in Niagara Falls, near Niagara-on-the-Lake, and water has always been a part of my life. And so seeing the way that the world has progressed and how that's affected the freshwater around where I'm from, and having a family full of scientists, it's just always kind of been something that's been in the back of my mind. And the reason I started volunteering with the Key Futures team, on top of all of the other hats that I have within Key Culture, is that I really think that there is so much more that we can be doing within the culture sector, and so much more we can do with the communication around sustainability within the sector, as well as the collaboration, the global collaboration within the sector.
Hi everyone, I'm Alejandra Alvarez. I am a Mexican conservator. I have worked as a project manager ever since I finished my degree. And I am very passionate about art, culture, and heritage. It has always been part of my life, and well, working with it has been something that I have aimed for all my life. So while I was doing my master's, I researched the intersections between heritage conservation and sustainability, based on the idea that both disciplines are trying to preserve something, from the small piece of art to the environment and our world ultimately. So yeah, that was my research topic. And while doing this research, I found key culture, and I just thought that everything they were doing or trying to do was amazing, and that I wanted to be part of that community. And also Caitlin's message resonated with me a lot. So I really wanted to be part of that.
Hi everyone, my name is Kerbelotte Carvalho. Currently, I'm attending my master's degree in conservation and restoration of cultural heritage with a focus on inorganic materials and sustainable practice in outdoor sculptures. I'm from Portugal and I'm currently based in Porto. And at Key Culture, my role is the coordination of the Key Futures training program. And alongside with the whole team, I am responsible more for the organizational part of the trainings. I start to get more involved in sustainability, basically with my degree in conservation and restoration. I basically start to realize that we can totally make a difference in our planet through culture. My interest in volunteering at Key Culture is because this project advocates many of the ideals that I defend, sustainable protection and conservation of culture with access to all of people. And I think it's amazing to be part of a team that is total multicultural and work alongside them and make you improve every day and make better choices.
Hi everyone, my name is Moira Mazzota. I'm from Argentina. I'm currently based in Germany, and I'm the organizer of this great event that I hope that everyone is enjoying right now. And I'm also providing support to Key Futures by creating the newsletter and the team in whatever things they need. I have a master's degree in sustainable heritage management, and last year I had the opportunity to hear Caitlin on a lecture, and I was really interested in the work that Key Culture is doing, because I think it's a very approachable way to how to get active and also create opportunities and resources for sustainable implementation of practices in the cultural sector. So I was very excited to be able to join Key Culture as a volunteer. And I was also even more excited to join the Key Futures team, because I really believe that this is a program that can help different organizations, no matter the size or where they are located, with their struggles to implement sustainable solutions